Hi everyone, welcome back to City Aperture's YouTube channel. My name is Jose, I am City Aperture. Today, not so much of a project, we're going to talk about a process. I have a 3D printer in order, but in the meantime I'm using the DC Public Library's FabLab 3D printers. So today I'm going to go over the process of using those printers and how one goes about it. The part that I'm not going to cover is the initial FabLab orientation or the orientation for each tool, whether it's a 3D printer, the laser cutter, the 3D scanner. If there's interest in that, let me know. I can do a video on how that works as well. This time we're only going to cover 3D printing at the DC Fab Lab at the Martin Luther King Library. Let's just start. The first thing I had was a need, right? I had a need for 3D printing something. Let me just show you. This is a microphone stand that I use when we record our podcast. And it had broke on me. It broke a few weeks ago. And I just was sort of holding it on there with rubber bands. I keep meaning to buy one of these guys to replace it. You know, there's a little screw right there, you take it off, you replace it. Rather than buying one on Amazon or at a store, let me try and figure out a way of 3D printing my own. So I downloaded my own. So let's go over that process now. We're going to switch to my screen and we'll start with reserving a time for the 3D printer, and then we'll go into the actual downloading of something to print. So first thing is open up our browser. I'm going to obscure the link to this page because it's a private link that you get once you've completed the certification, but this is the page in the DC Public Library, the labs. This is where you set up your schedule your times to go use it. So we want to use the 3D printer, the MakerBot replicator. This is the 3-hour session. So we're going to click on that. Brings up a little calendar where you can see available dates. You select the day when you select the 26th and you select your time. And then you got to enter your information. I'm logged in, but you can enter your information here. I'm going to obscure the important information. But you just fill out the form. Put in your library card number, which again mine is obscured. And then you just fill out everything. Click. You just got to click saying that you've completed the required classes. You complete your appointment. And there it is. Now we're scheduled, and you see it there. I've obscured my other times that I have scheduled, but now we're scheduled to go to the library. Now we're going to open up our browser again and download the item that we want. This is Thingiverse. You can see up here it's www.thingiverse.com. And this is a website where people upload 3D models that are ready for 3D printing. You can find pretty much anything. You can see some examples down here of custom creations, and the great thing is you can search. So we're going to go ahead and search for what I'm looking for, which is a microphone stand or microphone holder. And just like that, there's the results, and you can start seeing all different kinds of microphone holders. None of this one's showing us we want. This one looks about right here. I think that one might be. Let's take a quick look. Well, let's open up that another tab. Be enough. So it shows you a picture of what it looks like printed, and then it also gives you pictures of the model itself. This one, the orientation is right for what we want as far as optimal 3D printing. So it also has another attachment piece to the holder, but I don't think we'll need this part of it. And you can also, it shows you all three of them. This model though right here is placed perfectly, and we can download it. So yeah, here it shows you the different files you can download both together, or you can download each piece individually in this case. We're just going to download it individually. Yeah, I don't really need anything else. So click on it, and there it is, it's downloaded. That's pretty much it. There is to downloading a file from Thingiverse. So now that we've both set up a time to go to the Fab Lab and downloaded them we want to print, let's go ahead and head over to the library where we will set up the file itself to be ready to get 3D printed, and we'll go ahead and 3D print the item that we've downloaded, the holder. So I'm here in front of the Martin Luther King Library, and we're going to go in there and 3D print our object. Let's go. So here's the lab. We're going to go in there and 3D print. Okay, so here we are on the software. This is MakerBot's software for 3D printing. It's their proprietary software. You can see it's set to the Replicator 2, which is the 3D printer that they have at the library. There's a lot of settings that go to this software, but we're not going to mess with a lot of them because some of that's covered when you go for the certification of the 3D printer itself. We're just going to go ahead and add a file. You select the one we downloaded. Go ahead and click open. And you're going to see it's going to place it right in the middle of our printing area. You can turn it if you want, get a good look at it, and this is already set optimally for how we want to print it. Then we're just going to go to the settings. You can go low. Again, there's standard settings that you can choose. I want to print it at a higher resolution, so I'm going to go ahead and switch that to high. I want to make sure that the raft and supports are on because this particular item needs support, and the raft is always good. I always liked it. And luckily, like I said, it's already set up for a good print. The infill, there's not going to be a lot of it, so we don't have to worry about it too much. And let's go ahead and hit OK. Yeah, supports, because it's going to need the supports for this area. Click OK. And now we want to preview it. It takes a second. And there it shows you a little preview. Tells you how many layers it has. You can also turn it here. Or you can turn back and forth how it is. It tells you how many layers you have. Over here to the right, it tells you how much it's going to weigh and how much time it's going to take to print it. We can click export from here, but I don't like to export from here. Close that preview, and then just hit export print file. You save it to your location, and then you just got to move it to a SD card. You take the SD card to the 3D printer. We went to the library, we saw where it's at now, we set up our file and printed it. I set up the file using my own computer. They have computers that you can borrow that has the software. I'll put some video of the print and of the finished photos as I'm speaking. It took about 2 hours to print. I printed at a very high resolution. It would have taken about an hour had I printed at a lower resolution. There's some cleanup to be done of it. You will see a lot of residue parts that it's normal to clean up from a 3D print. The microphone holder itself weighs 13 grams. The library charges not for the use of the machine, it charges for the material used, and they do that by the weight of the item. I'll put a photo of the slip you have to fill out when you're printing an item there that lets them know how much to charge you. They charge you directly to your library card, so you don't have to pay there. It's almost as if you had checked out a book and returned it late. That's sort of how the fee works. At 13 grams, this microphone holder basically costs 5 cents per gram. This cost a little bit under 70 cents to print, which is probably cheaper than I would have gotten it from buying it anywhere. It took a little more time because I went and I printed, but I was doing other stuff while I was there. You can take metro to the library, so I mean, if you factor in travel time and parking, I probably paid more like $4 or $5 for it. I have some cleanup to do on it. I'll take out the bridge and whatnot. Normal things that you gotta clean up from a 3D print. But yeah, so there you have it. That's the procedure for 3D printing something at the DC Public Library Fab Lab. While I was at the Fabrication Lab, I spoke with some of the staff and we realized they don't have a social media presence for the Fabrication Lab itself. And that's because the social media has to run for the entire library. So in talking with some of the staff, my wife and I decided we would help them out by starting a Friends of the DC Fabrication Lab Facebook group. I'll put a link or a text here showing the actual link. But if you are in DC and you're using the Fabrication Lab or you want to use the Fabrication Lab, join the group. That way we can all help each other. We can form a community that helps each other and advocates for the Fabrication Lab. I think it'd be good for us to have a group where we can support them. If you've enjoyed this video, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. I'm going to have more videos like this with some of the other machines at the Fabrication Lab. I think I'll do the laser cutter next. That'll come in a week or so, or a couple of weeks. I also have some other videos that show you how to 3D print or some of my 3D printing process that I'll link as well. So please subscribe to the channel and support the channel. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this has been helpful. If it has, let me know, or if you have any other questions, please either let me know in the comments or go to the Facebook group that I mentioned earlier. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all soon. If you guys like this project, then maybe you'll enjoy the podcast that I do with my two colleagues, Claudia and Ray. We discuss purpose-driven design, making, and manufacturing. We talk about architecture. We talk about all sorts of making. We have a project of the week. So yeah, please check it out. Again, it's called The Made Podcast. Thanks so much.